History is written by the victors, but sometimes the losers leave the biggest mark. AFCON 2025 in Morocco was a tournament of chaos, brilliance, and absolute heartbreak. From the king of the continent cementing his legacy to a host nation's dream turning into a nightmare, we are breaking down the biggest winners and losers of AFCON 2025. We have to start with the man who held it all together. Before Sadio Mané, Senegal had never won AFCON. Now they've lifted the trophy twice in 5 years, and Mané is the reason why. At 33, he proved he's still elite with his goals and creativity. But it wasn't just his football, it was his leadership. When Senegal's players walked off the pitch in protest during that chaotic final, it was Mané who ordered them back out. He saved the final from total collapse. He was named man of the competition for a second time. As he said himself, "I'd rather lose than this kind of thing happen to our football." A class act who cemented his status as a living legend. It feels harsh to call him a loser, but sports can be cruel. Brahim Díaz was arguably the player of the tournament until the final moment. The Real Madrid star finally looked at home in a Morocco shirt, scoring in 5 consecutive games. He was the Golden Boot winner and the face of the host's dominance. But one moment erased it all. In the 93rd minute, with the title on the line, he tried a Panenka penalty and missed. Former Nigeria striker Daniel Abukachi put it brutally. With one stupid spot kick, he threw away all of his glorious moments. He won the individual awards, but he lost the one thing that mattered. Let's talk about a real underdog story. For 15 years as a player, Chiquinho Conde knew nothing but misery with Mozambique. But as a coach, he changed everything. He built a team on discipline and structure, telling his players, if someone didn't accept them, they had to leave. And it worked. They beat heavyweights like Gabon in the groups and reached the knockouts. Conde turned a team of unknowns into national heroes, proving that structure can beat star power. While Mané cemented his legacy, his old rival watched his fade. Mohamed Salah was the first to admit Egypt's squad wasn't the strongest, but his performance was anonymous. Egypt were atrocious in their semifinal loss to Senegal, and Salah couldn't spark a team that looked like it was in a painful transition. With no players under 24 in the squad, the future looks bleak. Salah is 33. He might get one more shot in 2027, but there is a very real chance the greatest Egyptian player ever will retire without an AFCON title. Sometimes you just need to get away from your club to remind everyone who you are. Manchester United's Diallo did exactly that. He was unstoppable for Ivory Coast, winning 3 Player of the Match awards in just 4 starts. In this tournament alone, he scored more goals, 3, than he has in 16 appearances for United this season. He returns to Europe as a player reborn. But the biggest loser of AFCON 2025 was the host nation itself. Morocco hadn't lost a competitive home game in 17 years. The fans had waited since 1976 for this trophy. They had the best goalkeeper, the top scorer, and home advantage, but they never looked comfortable in the knockouts. The pressure consumed them. When Diaz missed that penalty, the air of inevitability shattered. They remain a top team, but as the dust settles, this will go down as the most painful loss in their 50 years of hurt. AFCON 2025 will be remembered for the walkout, the controversy, and the chaos. But ultimately, it was the year the Lions of Teranga roared loudest, and the Atlas Lions lost their voice. Subscribe for your daily World Cup update.